nothing is bad. There's no worse experience, I believe, than finding yourself being incarcerated or being imprisoned for any length of time. It is a very, very difficult experience, and you talk to anybody who has gone through the prison system, whether it's for a short time, a long time, it doesn't matter. It's very, very difficult. There's nothing as bad as when one's freedom has been taken away from them. They cannot do whatever they want, go wherever they want, and they find themselves being confined in one particular space for a certain length of time. It's a difficult experience. But there is something also equally as bad, and what I refer to as self-imprisonment. My name is Jessie Mwai, and thank you so much for tuning in. And thank you for allowing me to speak into your life and into your situation. Even again, as we roll into this new year, I want to speak to you on what I've entitled self-imprisonment. Self-imprisonment is something that sometimes we don't really think about, but it is something that affects us. At any one time or the other, we find ourselves self-imprisoning ourselves, incarcerating ourselves, or curtailing our own freedom. And I want to just present to you three things or three areas in our lives that sometimes we put ourselves in prison without realizing it. First and foremost is something that we call unforgiveness. If you are given to unforgiveness, that you find it impossible to forgive those who hurt you, those who maybe offend you in one way or the other, whether it's a small fault or a big offense, unforgiveness is a form of self-imprisonment, because eventually unforgiveness will morph into bitterness. Eventually it becomes hatred, and eventually you become antisocial, and eventually you cannot relate with people because you have a problem with that one, you have a beef with that one, you have something to settle with the other person. Unforgiveness is a very, very difficult place to be at. And yet unforgiveness is also a choice, but it is a form of self-imprisonment, because it means that you have locked yourself and you have built walls around yourself and nobody can be able to reach you. But then there's also a second form of self-imprisonment, and that is fear, especially irrational fear, phobias. And sometimes people struggle with all kinds of fear. Fear will keep you from doing many things. Fear will keep you from advancing. Fear will keep you from making certain decisions, making certain steps. Now, of course, there's a good form of fear, and this is a kind of healthy fear that helps us to stay alive, and we stay away from trouble, stay away from bad things, because I'm fearful that I don't want to drive badly, I might get into an accident. That's good fear, but I'm talking about irrational fear. You know, those fears that sometimes we can't even explain? That is a form of self-imprisonment. But then also thirdly and finally is the imprisonment of self-pity. You know, sometimes when we feel sorry for ourselves because things have happened to us, or we didn't have it very easy in life, and therefore I begin feeling sorry for myself, which sometimes ends up being some form of depression and what have you. That is also a form of self-imprisonment. And I want to encourage you, as we roll into the year 2024, that if you find yourself in any one of these self-imprisonment situations, it's time to come out. If you want to progress, be everything God desires you to be, achieve something significant in the days ahead, you have to set yourself free. With God's help, you can come out of unforgiveness. With God's help, you can release yourself from irrational fear, but you can also come out of that trap of self-pity. If you need to talk to somebody, you need to talk to a counselor, you need to talk to a professional somewhere, you need to receive some form of help, please go ahead, but do not allow yourself to continue another day in that form of self-imprisonment. Because if you self-imprison yourself, nobody can set you free until you decide, I'm getting out of this self-imprisonment. God bless you. If this has blessed you and challenged you, please feel free to share it with a friend. Hit that share button. And until next time, God bless you.